Hello YouTube. A couple weeks ago I got to take a Carbine 1 class at the nearest training facility I have, and I took this rifle. Many of you will notice that it's the rifle I did all the upgrades to on the channel and then painted, and I thought I'd just give a little overview of what I learned and what I had to change on this rifle and how it performed. The first thing I had to change, I actually changed before we even got to the live fire section of the class. The first thing we did was use snap cases and just go through some of the reloading drills and such like that. And what I found was by having my sling mounted right here, that was really comfortable for me and actually worked out quite well. But where I shoot left-handed, when I'd go to do my drills, it would actually kick the shells out, and the sling would be right in the way of the ejection port here. And I actually had a couple of snap cases fall back into the action while I was manipulating the rifle. So before we even got to live fire, I went ahead and moved it all the way to the front, and I used that for the rest of the class. And I think that's where I'll leave it from now on because that seemed to work quite well. The other thing I was really impressed with this rifle is that I actually managed to, I was 1 point shy of qualifying at the end of the class, so it did actually have a fair amount of accuracy compared to what it had before I put the free float rail on here. The other thing is this was 100% reliable, and I really don't have any complaints about how it performed. The only thing I noticed was that here towards the barrel nut it did get rather hot, and it wasn't so bad out front, but I think that's just because the barrel nut on this rifle is rather large and it's made of steel. So I think as we started firing longer strings, that steel acted as a heat sink and just kept a lot of heat in. I didn't burn my hand or anything, but it was just something I noticed. Not a real big deal. I didn't wear gloves for any of the class, so kind of tells you it didn't get too hot. I'm also really surprised at how well my Rust-Oleum held up. You can see there's a little bit of powder burns and some chipping on the muzzle device, and then on the magazine well here, which is mostly from the sling used to be mounted in this area and it would kind of bounced against it. But other than that, it's held up really well, and so it's kind of solidified my opinion that you don't really need Cerakote, because where this is chipped at, if I ever decide it's bad, I can always just repaint it. The down defense sights held up really well and were fairly accurate. I managed to score one group kneeling at 50 yards that was just over 2 inches. So using Tula, I didn't think that was too bad, especially with iron sights. I could probably do better, and if this had a little bit better barrel in it, I could do better there as well. But it is what it is, and for a defensive carbine, it works just fine. Like I said, I was 1 point shy of qualifying, and that's pretty much all my fault, because like one of the early shots up close, and then one of my last shots in the prone position, I shanked really bad, and that was just enough points to knock me off. If you have any questions about this rifle, about anything on it, or how I did the paint job, leave a comment below. Otherwise, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.